And joining us for this segment of Reaching Out is Thomas Campbell. Thomas Campbell is a maintenance worker assigned to Harlem Hospital. Thomas, welcome to Reaching Out.
Thank you, Mr. Floyd.
Please call me Greg.
Greg. Okay, thank you, Greg.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about your background. How did you become a maintenance worker, and how did you find your way to Harlem Hospital?
Well, first let me say, it's a real joy to be at Harlem Hospital because I lived in Harlem all my life, so I feel like I'm working for my community. I started there as a provisional in 1989, and I took the maintenance worker test in maybe about 5 years later and came off the list, and I got picked up. Yes.
So tell us, you said you grew up in Harlem. Tell us what it was like growing up in Harlem.
Grew up in Harlem, lived in Harlem all my life. I mean, I wouldn't want to live nowhere else in the world. I mean, Harlem, as you know, has really came through a renaissance. It's a different neighborhood from what I came up in. Housing is good there. The people are wonderful, and it's just the place that I want to live. Okay. I couldn't find a better place that I would want to live.
And you're, of course, you're still there now.
Yes, I am.
Okay. You remember the old Sydenham Hospital?
Yes, I do.
What are your memories about Sydenham?
We didn't use Sydenham. We used Harlem Hospital. Yes. But I remember Sydenham. I knew just where it was. I think it's a nursing home now. I pass it every day. A lot of people don't even know that was a hospital. But when I first started at Harlem Hospital, I worked at Sydenham. And it's now called Renaissance, and we do have a building called Sydenham. So it's an offspring of the old Sydenham Hospital. Yes.
My father worked in Sydenham Hospital. He started in 1959 as a messenger, and then he became a special officer in 1963. So I actually had pneumonia when I was 1, and I was in Sydenham in 1964. I have fond memories of that hospital because that's the hospital that my father used to take me to, and I used to walk around the hallways, and they had this big bronze medallion in the middle of the hallway.
Right.
Beautiful. You go in the vestibule, you go up the stairs, and there was this medallion. And I just remember going to Harlem Hospital because we lived in Brooklyn, and just going through Harlem, and back in the 60s and 70s, and it was just a certain way. When the movies were being made, I mean, it just brought back a lot of memories.
Right.
And Hell Up in Harlem. Remember the Hell Up in Harlem movie?
Yeah, definitely.
They went to Harlem Hospital and said Harlem Hospital.
Yeah, they had a few movies in Harlem Hospital.
Yes.
I think Cotton Come to Harlem had a little segment.
Cotton Come to Harlem, yes.
And Harlem Hospital also, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the work that you do.
Well, I'm a maintenance worker. I mean, like I said, I grew up in Harlem, and I worked in a hardware store on 131st, 132nd, and 5th Avenue. So I became very familiar with tools and hardware and all that at an early age. My family owned a hardware store there. So maintenance work is my passion. I love fixing things, doing handyman work. I'm good at it. I love it. And, we maintenance workers do a little bit of everything. We do a little bit of carpentry, a little bit of electrician, a little bit of plumbing, and it's just a wonderful job. I would recommend it to anybody, you know what I mean? You get to learn a lot, and, as time go on, you always improve your skills, It's just a wonderful trade. I mean, if I had to do all over again, I would pick the same trade.
Let me ask you a question. When you hear the attacks on public sector workers, public employees, and they talk about your pensions are too rich and we can't afford you and you don't do any work, how does that make you feel?
Well, it makes me feel terrible because I work hard for mine. You know what I mean? I work, and I think I deserve everything that I'm working for. You know what I mean? I'm not the one to go to work just to get over. When I go to work to do a job. I feel like I'm part of the Harlem community, and if I don't do my job and my family goes to that hospital and they're not treated right, I feel like I'm part of the problem if I'm not doing my job also. So, I mean, my heart is where I work at, and everything that I get or everything that's due to me, I think that I earned. It's nobody giving me anything.
Okay. You've been listening to Reaching Out. I'm Gregory Floyd, President Local 237 Teamsters. Our very special guest for this segment was Thomas Campbell. He's a maintenance worker at Harlem Hospital and a lifelong Harlem resident. Thomas, thank you for coming to Reaching Out.
Thank you.
Okay.